Hey there, good morning. Welcome to 50 Question Friday for November 8th, 2024. Well, good to see you guys here this morning. Hey, Leon, glad you are up in the middle of the night there in Australia joining us. And hey, Malit, good to see you here. So let's see today. Happy Friday. Um, Gosh, let's go ahead and set space and drop into the heart space and welcome in everybody. So here we go, going to the sacred space of the heart by bringing your awareness to the physical heart. And just imagining connecting heart to heart with the earth, with that beautiful crystal sun, that light within the earth, and breathing in that energy, that light of the earth up through the feet and into the heart. And connecting with you as Creator God, as soul, breathing in that light of you into the heart. And of course, you can take this simple, easy way into the heart and take that single breath from both earth and from creation, bringing them both together within you. And just allowing yourself to drop into that sacred space of the heart. All right. Hey, Christine from Oz Down Under as well. Thank you for being here. Hey, MJ. All right. So let's see. We'll start off, I guess, with a few announcements. Okay, so we have our 12-week photo challenge. And oh my goodness, you guys, I'm sorry, but we are extending this week's photo challenge of EMF protection. We got a few photo submissions in, but there really wasn't much truly geared towards EMF protection, mitigation. Now, here is a sample photo I took this morning of a laptop ring around that beautiful Wi-Fi transmitter. And there is a golden fire generator and a Betar coil sitting on top of it. So just to kind of give an example, what we're looking for photos for the EMF mitigation for this week. We're going to extend this photo contest for EMF mitigation throughout this whole next week. And next Friday, when we announce the winner, you will receive not only the 3 Wi-Fi rings, but you will also receive the tool of the week for next week, which is going to be the Wisdom Wand. So, I would certainly suggest getting some good photo submissions in for EMF mitigation with the tools, because next week's winner will receive, like $200 worth of tools from us. So, please do jump in there on that. And we also still have our Black Friday sales we are doing this year. This week, all the way up through Sunday, is the EMF products. So we have a particular page on the website where we are doing 16% off of this whole line of EMF mitigation products. So with that, we will start again next week. On Monday, we will have a full week of another theme of products that are 16% off, and we will do it again the following week, all the way up until Black Friday. So anyway, we have some really good deals coming up. 16% off, which is, the best percentage we've ever done. But between inventory overstock and it coming up to be Black Friday, Christmas stuff, we're doing some good deals here for this month. All right, so let's see any other announcements. We did the tool of the week, the photos. So let's see, we'll go ahead and jump into some questions here. So we only have one question from email, and just double checking. So the question here that we have is is there a significant difference in energy between the Divine I Am Pendant and the Torus of the same name? And yes, there actually is quite a bit of difference between these two tools. Now, we have the Divine I Am Torus, which is in that energetics of the Divine I Am, which is the energy of the soul. It is the Divine I Am energetics is one of our a little bit older ones. It is the one that came in as a trio to assist in creating the wisdom field. So the wisdom energetics was created as one of them is the Divine I Am energetics. So the Divine I Am Taurus, it's just the energy of you, of the soul. It's that 4-inch Taurus. It's a pretty amazing Taurus. It's not, super powerful, but it's portable, small. It works well on the body. It's just a simple, easy, portable tool for harmonizing. Now, the Divine I Am Activator Pendant, it was in that Divine I Am energetic, but it has expanded so much. So the Divine I Am Activator Pendant is that heavier silver pendant, really expensive one. That is the one that it's a powerful, potent one. In that, I always tell the story. When I first put that pendant on, I saw myself as a lotus bud, and as the petals were falling away, they were lifetimes and experiences, and they just fell into nothing. As my soul in the center of this lotus bud was distilling the light and information, aka wisdom, out of each of these lifetimes as they fell away. And so the Divine I Am Activator Pendant was really one of the first fields that we saw that was truly allowing the integration, the transforming, the alchemizing of experience into soul level wisdom. And of course, we've taken that much further with all the wisdom tools, but still the Divine I Am Activator Pendant is a pretty powerful pendant still. And the energetics has changed along the way. I can't tell you exactly what, but the wisdom energetics in there, the expansive light, there's just been more support added to that pendant throughout the years. So let's see. That is the only question we have from email. So if you guys have any questions here today, and hey, Connie from Maine. Malik from New Jersey. Glad you guys are all here today. Can I speak on the energetics of the AI interface ring? So yeah, the AI interface ring is actually also aka the light body activator ring. The AI interface ring is the ring which is the same as the light body activator ring, and it's also the same as this AI interface tab that you can stick to your phone. This particular ring is not acting like a standard tensor ring. It doesn't restructure electromagnetics. It does a little bit, but that's not its purpose or the field that it carries. The field that the AI interface ring, aka light body activator ring, carries is a field to allow your light to flow more into where your awareness is. It amplifies divine awareness. So when you truly tune into that field, so you be in the heart space, you're just soft, you're tuning into that field. And at the same time that you're connecting into the field of that ring, you're bringing in your light, your consciousness. And then when you are bringing your awareness to AI, to something that you're creating on the computer, and it could either be, it can be like doing chat GPT and you're doing your inputs, and instead of trying to mentally bring through your creation, you totally just step back and allow your consciousness, your light, to be the one that interfaces with that creation. And play with this, because you will notice a huge difference in the output of like chat GPT when you are here in the head and you're trying to will your input versus letting go and allowing your light into it. Totally different outputs. And so that is also one that you don't necessarily have to work with ChatGPT. It's anything in the electronic world. Basically, if you are texting and you are having your awareness with this ring, then you are bringing more light and consciousness into what you text. It's not the words that really carry the information, the energy. It's the energy that carries the energy. The words are just a carrier for it. You can write fluffy bunny words and have the illest, utmost horrific intention in those fluffy bunny words. And a person reading that can feel the intention, the energy. So, and that was the first scenario that we saw with this concept. So we took that and we flipped it and we run it the other way, in that you can use anything as that carrier wave for your light and consciousness, and it makes a total world of difference. What cubit length is used for the Divine I Am Activator Pendant? That's a good question. There are a couple different cubit lengths in there. The outer, so here's the thing. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the tools that we create here at Twisted Sage, but the cubit measure for us does not dictate the energetics, the frequencies, the field. So we use multiple cubit lengths, and it is our etheric templates, the higher dimensional aspect of the tools, which we create first here on this other plane. They are then anchored into the tensor rings through the tensor fields. So the sacred measurements, everything is still cut to that 100,000ths of a centimeter. We strive for that specific of a cut, of a length. But the length, again, is only creating the tensor field for us. And then the etheric templates that we anchor into that tensor field then will override the innate energetics. So the Divine I Am Activator Pendant, the outer circle, is actually a fraction of the golden fire cubit, but it's not the golden fire energy that comes through it. There is the golden fire because everything that we create builds upon itself. So the golden fire is one of the precursor energies to that Divine I Am. So the golden fire is still in there, but not because of the cubit measure, but because of the energetics of just because that's the way the energetics of the tools are. So as far as the measurements on that Divine I Am Activator Pendant, let's see, is the Activator Pendant available at the shop with this 16% discount as well? No, the Divine I Am Activator Pendant is not on the current sale. It's not going to be on the next sale. But I am guessing that you will be able to find that Divine I Am Activator Pendant here in 2 weeks, that week before Black Friday. The thing is, we only have, currently we have one Divine I Am Activator Pendant in stock. And we are going to really try to get some more in stock before it goes on sale here in about a week and a half. But we are waiting on wire, which I never thought that we would have to wait on back order for silver wire, but we are. So it's really hard to say when we are going to get more of those Divine I Am Activator Pendants in stock. I'm hoping that we do before the Christmas sale. It just depends on when our silver wire gets here. So anyway, but we will always be making more, so no worries. The Expansive Light Gaia is a very different feel from the other tools. How did this one come through? So the expansive light is just a whole nother energy that came in. And it's an energy that we hadn't experienced before. The expansive light is bringing in your light more than what we've ever seen, but it is also allowing that light to expand into creation, your world, your light to expand into your energy in a whole different way. And so the expansive light, it feels so good. It is one that helped me through, gosh, many months of integration. The expansive light it's a beautiful energy. And so we put it into the Gaia sphere. And the reason we did that is because I was trying to, before we could create this tool, this expansive light came through first. I had it in 2 silver bangles and that Gaia sphere. And I utilized these tools for several weeks to integrate that energy to where I could then recreate it. So it was just in 3 tools at first. I integrated that energetic into my own being so that then we could then begin to create more tools with them. So then the tools that we created were the expansive light Gaia sphere, which is so amazing, and the bangles. But the expansive light is in everything that we create now and ever have created. The expansive light is now a part of all of the tools. It is definitely a very different feeling. And I tell you what, the expansive light bangles have been amazing for so many people. I mean, if you're going through the thick of it, man, the expansive light energetics is amazing. Um, what would be a tool or tools to gift my friend who is a caregiver for her husband that has had a debilitating stroke? My friend heard the buzz from my golden fire wand, and she was, um, yeah, okay. So I have gifted one of my Ascension Grid pyramids to them a while ago, so they have it in their home already. Um, what comes to mind right away, Malik, is the pendant that, like that you won, the Quantum Heart Coil Pendant. But just take it a step farther, the Quantum Heart Coil Pendant, along with the Little Infinite Allowing, is a great addition. So, AKA the Wisdom Coil Pendant, um, or simply just the Quantum Heart Coil. But so the Quantum Heart Coil Pendant or adding the Infinity is, perfect for those that are caregivers. It's a tough thing, but it does assist them with their personal boundaries if they allow that. Um, and it's a supportive feel definitely for being in that space. What is the golden fire length, may I ask? We've never shared our golden fire measurement publicly. The reason for that is that you can take this golden fire measurement and you can create a tensor ring, a tensor field, but it's not the golden fire field because the golden fire energetics exists as the etheric templates. And so the golden fire energetics is only in our etheric templates, which then connects into the rings. So like the Wi-Fi rings are a golden fire, a fraction of that. And even if you use the golden fire cubit, unless you anchored in the etheric templates, it would only be a simple tensor field. So again, the true magic and miracles that take place in these fields is not necessarily the tensor field that is a harmonizing field. That is simply the space that we begin with. And then the etheric templates are all of the energy information that are placed there as potentials. And it is always the higher soul self, your consciousness, that determines what is in your highest and best and brings that through the field for you. So the fields are pretty phenomenal in that they are a smart ring. I mean, these tools are smart rings because it is always your higher self, your consciousness that determines what comes through for you in every moment in your highest and greatest good. So they're so different than, just a tensor ring. Um, so, we have shared our measurements for the golden fire before, but what I do is I always make sure that a person is able to work with the STU measurement and anchor in the balance and harmony etheric template. Because the golden fire, again, the true magic in that one is all the energetics. Now we have some rings like my shop foreman, when we got to some of the rings, he could still bring in the golden fire because he has the sacred heart activation. He knows the energy. But like when we had like the regeneration ring, and that was one that another measurement we don't share. That one, man, about killed me when I was first trying to bring that one through because y- to anchor in these energies into the tools is a whole thing that I can't even really describe or teach about. Um, and I've only met two other people on the planet that have this, but they don't understand or do a dang thing with their etheric templates. Um, anyway, I guess I'll just stop there, but yeah, like I say, we definitely will share these with those who are able and are ready because basically, if you just use the cubit measure, you're not going to anchor in the golden fire energetic, and it would be a disservice, I feel, if you share tools that aren't really at their highest potential. Um, the Undercurrent Pendant's been bringing up a lot of old stuff for me. Any recommendations on how to work with it? So, yeah, that Undercurrent Deactivator Wand is, I've had reports of people that get it and they'll hold it and they're like, holy crap, that's not for me. They'll set it down, put it still with them, and they're going through it. Um, the undercurrent deactivator is one that I would suggest not for if you are in a space and you are in the dark night of the soul and you're doing release work and you're just not in a space, you could use it. For me, I would totally dive in and use it because that's who I am, man. I go things full force and I dive into things. Um, but if you're looking for some grace and ease, I wouldn't play with the undercurrent deactivator unless you are truly ready to step in and be with it and do the work. I would recommend the wisdom tools because the wisdom tools, especially the wisdom, the quantum heart coil pendant with the infinite allowing infinity, the wisdom coil, that is one that I would recommend to anybody and everybody because it is going to help you with a lot more grace and ease of that releasing of the big stuff. So the undercurrent deactivator, basically how I tell people about it, how I describe it is, you have this mm, like this little lake, this little river of your energy. And within your energy, there's these big blocks. Like imagine this big box full of crap, some lifetimes of the same trauma experience. And that's floating through your river. And you can birth it out with the undercurrent deactivator, but it might be a little uncomfortable. It's still going to definitely get that big box, that big chunk out of your river. Um, the undercurrent deactivator is really about the fine tuning, not the birthing of the large chunks of stuff in your field, or at least not comfortably. It works well for getting rid of all the larger chunks. Um, One thing you can do if you already have the wand, you're already in it, you can sit with yourself and say, hey, let's bring this through with some grace and ease. And you can temper any of the tools to work for you in a different way. So you can just say, hey, grace and ease. That's what I did to my Divine I Am Activator Pendant. It's because it was always trying to do the work. And so I was like, nope, I want this to be just grace and ease. Let's see. Yes, keep the undercurrent on and work through the stuff. That's right. Are we likely to sell the kits for the Rainmaker in the future? Yes, definitely. We will get these kits out again. I just hadn't been making those coils for a little while. I actually lost my jig, and I found my jig, so I need to replicate it so I don't lose it again. So anyway, we will definitely make coils for that size of coil, the tensor coils again, that you can use to create the Rainmakers. Any effects of the tensor rings on fruit juice? Most certainly. And I don't know exactly what those effects are. I do know that within 4 to 6 hours, it'll completely restructure water, the tensor fields do. I know like with wine, and people always talk about using different energy tools to clear, what is it, the sulfates or something like that in wine that give you the hangover and have different taste aspects. So yeah, you can use the tensor rings to make your wine taste better. You can use the tensor rings to definitely make your water taste and absorb and hydrate better. So its effects on fruit juices, one, you are going to bring more of the consciousness of that plant into itself, which is beneficial, kind of like working with an essential oil. So anytime you're working with something organic, you are bringing more of its light, more of its life essence into itself. So that's one thing. It can work with the pH, and I really don't know what else it does with fruit juice, but I know it'll all be beneficial. Can you comment on harmonizers with regards of integrating multiple frequencies like the 144, 177, 188, and 333 into a single tool? So, I've never made a single harmonizer. I've actually had a jig that Slim himself had used to create harmonizers. I no longer have that. But Slim never had me make a single harmonizer. We made the tensor field generator instead. But basically the harmonizers, tensor field generators, the Gaia spheres, they're all basically taking that tensor field and radiating it out like a sunshine. So with those, it's the whole concept that whatever other frequencies you bring into the field, it brings those frequencies in. So let's say this one here, gosh, I think this one here is a 333 megahertz, which is the base frequency. This one here is a golden fire. So we bring this golden fire and this 333 together, and they harmonize. They bring both the energetics through their field. And usually when you are creating something energetically here, when you have two pieces together, you are usually creating something greater than the sum. There's something usually exponentially more that happens. But basically, you can certainly layer many energies within that field. So taking your harmonizer or whatever it is, you can simply place these different energetic rings flat and then place your harmonizer within them, and it'll be bringing all those extra energies in there. Now, Slim used to sell a ring with a harmonizer and said that when you put the ring over the harmonizer, it contains it so that it's not broadcasting. That's not innately true at all. The innate truth is that the ring will amplify the harmonizer, but when you have the intention to shut down the harmonizer to contain it, you put your ring, and it is your intention with the ring that contains the energy of the harmonizer. So anyway, that's pretty much all the knowledge I have on the harmonizer. But yeah, you can totally integrate many different frequencies of tools just by stacking them together. Uh, Carly, my first introduction to Twistedsage was about 2 years and 2 months ago. You were offering a 33% off sale. Yeah, that was probably our fire sale. We were selling everything for below manufacturing cost. It was actually our IRS fire sale. The Shaman Wand has been discontinued. How is it best utilized at this time? So the Shaman's Wand is one that, I just basically had mine in my field. I carried it in my field for, gosh, a couple of years. Um, so the Shaman's Wand is a great tool for just passively having in your field while you're sleeping at night, things like that. But it is also one that basically you just use it to run energy. The Shaman's Wand is the one when I had this hiatal hernia, which is where the stomach flips upside down, it herniates. Man, I dealt with this thing for years and we could never get it to stay down. There was always some emotional thing that caused the stomach to herniate. The Shaman's Wand was made. I laid down, my stomach was herniated. I always put it back into place myself or have my sister help me energetically distance. But I sat down, I laid down, I had the hernia. Shaman's Wand was just created. I laid down. I just simply ran energy, use your wand just to make circles or figure eights. You're just running your energy. And I wasn't trying to fix it or heal it or do anything. I was just simply, hey, I'm just going to bring some energy and light to this because it's uncomfortable right now and I'm just resting. So I did this for just a few seconds. About 2 minutes later, I realized that hernia was gone and I could not find it had ever been in my existence. So the Shaman's Wand was one of the first energetic tools that came along that basically empowered us as creators to uncreate creation, which no longer serves us. And that's huge. So the Shaman's Wand, it's one that, you don't jump in and you're like, oh, I'm going to get rid of this damn shoulder issue. No, it is one, though, that you can use to run energy to it. And it was, again, one of the first tools in the paradigm of the multidimensionality of us as a creator, which simply means that there's the and, which simply means that, yes, there's the shoulder thing, and there's all these other potentials where there's not the shoulder thing. So these potentials come to us, they are potentials in creation, and these potentials can come to us by, our beliefs, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about the world, our perception, our level of consciousness. There are so many things that influence what potential of reality is manifest in every moment. Okay, so anyway, I should probably get off that whole concept, but basically it's so it's basically just the whole concept of you just stepping aside and allowing your light to come in and to bring you a different potential in reality. And as we are entering into this new paradigm of how we truly work as for healing, clearing, whatever it is that we don't fight and demolish and get rid of one thing. We accept it as a potential reality that allows it to then be replaced by a different potential reality. And the more that we allow our light to come in, the higher the potential realities come into existence. And that is truly the metaphysics of creation. And it's what we're really trying to work with these tools in the fields to do the work ourselves so that we can truly step in as the conscious creators. In more of the lines of we are the experiential part of the soul, and we are a master at experiencing, that we don't get in the way and try to hold on and dictate and move and change and heal, that we are in a space to where we are very sensual with all of our energy, and we experience it, and we are here to experience. Anyway, that's my soapbox here for today. Always have to have a soapbox while we're here, right? All right. I bought a Do-It-Yourself Torus about a year ago, but never assembled it. Can I send it back to you to assemble it for me at a cost, of course? Um, Carla, I bet we could get Brenda to do that, because Brenda does do all of our Taurus assemblies. We pay Brenda to do them. But that truly is one of the bigger costs on that Taurus. I mean, we certainly can, but I don't know for certain what the cost would be. But yeah, Carla, we can certainly work something out here. So let's just keep in touch. So please do email me. The Activator, my version of the Harmonizer, but not intended to be used in the same way. Yeah, totally. The Activator is an amazing one. Are the rings for the Betar Coils made specifically for those coils? Yes. So the Betar Coil rings are energetically created specifically for those Betar Coils. It was actually the Betar Coil and that particular ring for the Betar Coils, or the precursor to the highest potentials energetic. It was the Betar Coil and that particular ring that was first showing up as highest potentials, and they were showing up as little rainbow packets of energy within that field of the Betar Coil, which were just those higher potentials, which basically just means with that Betar Coil that if you have, let's say, an essential oil that has a certain amount of potentials for healing and support for you, when you place that oil on the Betar Coil, then it begins to access higher potentials. So what that means is that your oil is now full of more light and potentials for what it can do for you. And that's the whole concept. The higher potentials is that we are in a little box of limited potentials. We have very few choices, and none of the choices are really too bright and grand. It's kind of like being in the pain body, where you have less and less feelings that you have a choice of a way to go. And so the highest potentials is simply an unboxing of your light. Your light carries the potentials. And so as you have these higher potentials in your field, that just means that there are more possibilities for you to experience things outside of the little limited box. And it's not that our tools are super special in doing these things, these tools, because all of this stuff is already in existence. These tools are simply holding the space for us to more easily tune into and access these fields. So anyway, hey, thank you guys very much for some great questions and conversations here today. And if we do have any more, please do jump in. Otherwise, we're probably going to call it a day here, I believe. I was trying to think if there was anything else cool. No, again, I'm going to announce right now, next week for our tool of the week, we're going to do the Wisdom Wand. So if you guys have a Wisdom Wand, or you're interested in that work, we're going to do the tool of the week next Wednesday on the Wisdom Wand. And basically, I'm just going to reiterate, go through the techniques that we use to clear the lifetimes of traumas, this lifetime of trauma, work with the ego, the mind, other influences in your reality. And so basically, we're going to take all these hours and hours of workshops that I've put out over the years And I'm going to try to condense it down into one simple hour of the wisdom wand workings. So it's going to be, I'm anticipating this is going to be really a grand webinar for working with that wisdom wand. So let's see. And Melvin, a tool making question. And I usually don't answer much for tool making questions here on 50 Questions Fridays. I've always been saying that I was going to create a webinar specifically for tool makers. And I would like to still do that at some point here. But I'll still would like to read through here your question, see if I can answer it here. Is it better to make the galactic cubit first to know the energy, then twist the new wire holding this feeling, knowing into the ascension? So basically the etheric templates, when you anchor, so when I anchor in the etheric templates of the tools, and so the question that Melvin's asking here is that, I do encourage those who are making the tools to access our etheric templates. No need to reinvent the wheel. This is something that I've been creating for lifetimes. And it's not an ego thing. I mean, because all the etheric template, it's not really mine at all. I just happen to be able to access it and bring it into the tools. Me throughout lifetimes, and have had a lot of other assistance in the creation of those higher dimensional tools. This lifetime, Brenda, my sister, has been very much active in helping me with the creation of those tools that we anchor into the physical. So it's really hard to say, like, when you're twisting the wire, it is truly about just being in the heart space. You just open up. You are simply the hollow bone, the conduit, the bridge between those etheric templates and the wire, the crystal structure of the wire. And the more clean and clear you are as a channel, the better. Because then you get out of the way of bringing in your own agendas and projections and, oh, poor Aunt Sally, I need to fix and heal her, whatever it is. The more that you stay clear and out of the way, the more profound your tools will be. So let's see. I feel blessed to have found Twistedsage and bought the tools to hold my light consciousness while the world goes through a huge shift. And Leon says, same. Yeah, you know what? I tell you what, those of us who have been doing the work and are holding our lights, now is really the time that we came here for, is because, yes, this planet is going into chaos, and there's half of humanity that is truly waking up and becoming compassionate and understanding, and all the things that happen when you start to uncover who you are. And then there's the other half of the population that are, we got to hold the light for, because there's so much chaos. There's so much perceived new darkness. And there's so much less darkness on the planet than there's ever been. This is the brightest the planet and mass consciousness has ever been, you guys. And it is getting exponentially brighter and grander by the day. But the thing is that as more light comes in, you ever go out into the woods and pick up a log or a board and you see all the critters that hate the light that just scurry and run? Or else if you're sleeping and you're in this nice, beautiful space and somebody comes in and turns on all the lights and you're like, damn it, stop it. It is those kinds of reactions that the dark is having with the light. It's always been here, and it has always been much greater on the planet. you would not believe how much things have truly shifted in the past couple decades. And so anyway, the world is a beautiful place. And just having our light here, us doing the work, us just holding our light. And that's the thing. If you go back, I think 2 Fridays ago, we did a really grand meditation at the end of our 50 Questions Friday. I would totally suggest you go and check that out, because we came together and we held our light for all of the earth and humanity. And man, that was a powerful exercise. And we did it in a way that we weren't, projecting our agendas and our fears and our limitations and everything into the field. It was just our light. So yeah, man, I would totally implore you to go back and revisit that meditation. Just because I feel that's what we're here for, is to simply sit and shine our light. So January 1st of this year, I had the hugest, man, I was in a space that I've never been, and I look forward to being in that space again. A total creator space. But within this space, I knew the only thing that I had to do as the human from here on out is embody my life, embody my light, and live life in joy. Embodying your light is the simplest and hardest thing that you'll ever do. Same with self-love, because it is all a part of that whole concept. One announcement as we are in this little space. Starting in December, I'm going to do we're going to have a class, and I'm going to open it up to you guys. It's going to be a paid class. It's not going to be very much, but we're going to step in. And I did this thing, Soul Alchemy, a few years ago. I was going through the thick of it, and I was not very composed, but it was a really wonderful process, because as I was doing the work for myself, I shared that, and others did the work for themselves. But now that I'm through it, I'm going to come back in. So this December, I'm going to be offering basically this revised Soul Alchemy class. And I'll be sure to send an invite out here, in the next few weeks. But it's going to be one that I feel would be a very beneficial one for, everybody who's tuning in here, especially because, you're in here, you're attracted to your own consciousness in the work. And basically, just really want to help us all continue to get to that point to where that's the only thing that we need to do as the master experiencer of creation, is embody your light and live life in joy. And, for me, that doesn't mean that Twisted Sage dissolves away and I'm just some floaty dude in a cloud. It just means that I keep living life, because part of my living life in joy and embodying my light has to do with the creation of the tools and being here at Twisted Sage. And so that's the same for you. That is just going to be, the passions. So anyway, I really want to start to align myself with more of you who are wanting to be there too, so that we can come together, create these containers, and be that that higher light energetic support for each other. So anyway, it's not going to be for everybody for sure, but I imagine that many of you here, it will resonate. So anyway, I look forward to playing some more. And two, please do join us here Wednesday for our tool of the week for the Wisdom Wand. We're going to do some fun things with that. Hopefully it'll be fun for everybody, and grace and ease. But let's also, if you would like to win a Wisdom Wand for yourself and 3 Wi-Fi rings, please do get in your submissions before next Thursday or by next Thursday. Just go into the website. We have the 12-week photo contest and EMF mitigation. So if you have some great photos that you would like to send in, you will receive as a potential winner 3 Wi-Fi rings and a wisdom wand next week. So anyway, much love, you guys. Thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you for the love and support, and right back at you all. Much love. Take care.